Detecting keyloggers effectively on Windows involves a mix of methods using PowerShell and Command Prompt to monitor for suspicious activity. Here is a step-by-step guide on how to detect keyloggers on your Windows PC. Type PowerShell in the search bar and run PowerShell as an administrator. Monitor keyboard hooking attempts. Keyloggers often use keyboard hooks to capture keystrokes. To detect registered keyboard hooks, type void System.Reflection.Assembly. LoadWithPartialName. System.Windows.Forms. This command loads the System.Windows.Forms.Assembly, which is a net library that provides classes for creating Windows-based applications, such as forms and controls, including key handling functionality. Now type hooks. System.Windows.Forms.Keys is an enumeration in System.Windows.Forms that defines the keys on a keyboard, like Enter, Shift, or Control. GetHashCode is a method inherited from the base object class. Now type if hooks detected, hooks, else no hooks detected. The script checks if the hooks variable has a value. The intention here is to detect whether any keyboard hooks or global hotkeys are present. Inspect startup programs and digital signatures. Type get item property. This commandlet is used to retrieve the properties of a specified item, such as a file, folder, or registry key. The path parameter specifies the location of a registry key from which to retrieve the properties. HKLM Software Microsoft Windows current version. Run. This is the path to a specified registry key where programs are configured to run automatically when the computer starts. The command retrieves the registry values for all programs that are set to automatically start when the system boots up. The output will display a list of program names along with their corresponding executable paths. This represents the names of the programs set to run on startup. Keyloggers and malware often use this registry key to set themselves to run at startup. If you see unfamiliar or suspicious programs listed here, example a process with a strange or misleading name, it could indicate that malware is present on your system. You can check the file's location and determine if it's related to a legitimate application or malware. Copy its path to locate the file on your system. Open File Explorer and navigate to the location of the file. Check if the file automatically exists at this location. If you find the file, proceed to the next steps to analyze its legitimacy. If the file is missing, it could be a sign that the entry is either part of uninstalled malware or an invalid registry entry. Right-click on the executable file and select Properties. Look at the Details tab to gather information about the file. Product name, company, and description can give you insight into whether the file is from a legitimate application. If these fields are blank, it could be a red flag, as many legitimate applications include metadata to identify the software. Now type get item property path. This is a path to a specific registry key that contains a list of programs set to run at login for the current user. This line is a subkey where programs are configured to start when the user logs into Windows. When you run this command, it will display a list of programs and their corresponding executable paths that are set to run automatically when the current user logs into Windows. This includes programs that might start in the background, like messaging apps, update checkers, or even potentially unwanted programs or malware. Malware and keyloggers often set themselves to run automatically by adding entries to this registry key. If you find a suspicious program listed, copy its path. Don't copy to the last end, and check the digital signature of the file to see if it is from a trusted developer. Navigate to the file location. Go to the folder where the file is located. Right-click on the executable file and then select Properties from the context menu. In the Properties window, navigate to the Digital Signatures tab. This tab shows the digital signatures attached to the file. Check running processes. GetProcess commandlet retrieves a list of all the processes running on a local machine. The pipe symbol is used to pass the output from GetProcess to the next commandlet for further processing. Select Object, Name, ID, CPU. Start time is used to filter and display specific properties of the processes retrieved. The output will show a table with the columns from name, ID, CPU, and start time, making it easier to monitor and analyze running processes. Keyloggers are typically installed either manually by an attacker or automatically when a system is compromised. By retrieving the start times of processes, you can spot processes that started at odd times, such as during system startup or after an unusual event like the installation of software or an update. If a process started shortly after you installed new software or clicked on a suspicious link, it could suggest that the keylogger was installed at that time. Check the PID processes running on your system by running task list, find str, followed by the PID number. The output will display the name of the process, the PID that matches the one you are searching for, the session where the process is running, the session number, and the amount of memory the process is using. If the process associated with the PID is a suspicious application, it might be worth investigating further to determine if it is a malware. Review network activity. Type CMD in the search bar and open Command Prompt as an administrator. Use netstart to list all active network connections. Netstart stands for Network Statistics, which is the command line used to display network connections. The A option shows all active network connections and listening ports, including TCP and UDP connections. The N option forces netstart to display network addresses and port numbers in numerical form rather than trying to resolve them into host names or service names. The O option adds the process ID of each process that is associated with the open network connection. This is crucial for identifying which application or service is using the specific port or connection. The output of the command will display the protocol used for the connection, the local address, which is the IP address and port number of your computer, the foreign address, which indicates the IP address and port number of the remote machine for active connections. The state will indicate the current status of the connection, which could be listening, established, or close wait. If a keylogger is running on your system, it might establish a network connection to an external server to send the collected keystrokes or other sensitive data. By using netstart, you can look for unusual or unexpected connections. Monitor system logs for anomalies. Use the event viewer to detect unusual system behavior. Press Windows+X. Select Event Viewer. Check under Windows logs to see a security or system events. This approach allows you to combine traditional forensics with hacker-like techniques to identify and remove keyloggers from your Windows system.